New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. We invite you to join our prayer broadcast every day at 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Send us your prayer requests or schedule a private prayer session by emailing prayer@ntmedia.org. And now, it's time to pray together.
Hello, folks. Welcome. It is time for morning prayer for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. My name is Muro. I'm a prayer practitioner here with the New Thought Media Network, and I am honored and delighted to be able to spend time with you in prayer. So glorious. So, if there is anything that you would like prayer for, by all means, do let me know. You can either put something into the comments, or you can submit a prayer request here online at www.ntmedia.org/prayer. We have a family of ministers and practitioners who delight in holding your intention. It's all love. Good morning. Good to see you. Oh, and by the way, if I start to pray and I have not seen your request, please know that I always check before I leave so that I can address it. All right. So this morning, I wanted to share this with you. This is excerpted from the Daily Tao by William Martin. This is what he wrote. As the rules, opinions, fears, desires, and possessions pile up, our lives become more and more constrained. Everywhere we turn, we run into a wall of conditioned thought. Unless we take care to keep our thoughts and our muscles flexible, we will become stiff and brittle in both body and mind. I'm really glad that he used the idea of both the mental and emotional and spiritual as well as physical, because it's easy for us to see the physical parts. It's easy for us to look to nature, for example, to understand many different things. Well, we are nature. So anyone who has worked out at all, or anyone who has neglected to work out, knows that movement makes a huge difference in your life. Being able to use your muscles, being able to stay flexible. And if all you do is try to build and build and build, and you never try to stretch, you never try to relax, you never try to release, you do still become brittle. Well, the same thing applies for our thoughts. The same thing applies to how we approach our lives. So think about ways in which you are looking at the things that you consider to be the rules of your life, the opinions that you formed, the fears, the desires, all of this, and see where in your life you are limiting yourself, where in your life you are holding yourself back. The idea of being flexible from a thought perspective, from a spiritual perspective, is about being open, about being inviting, about allowing. So let's take this into prayer. And whatever it is that you feel is going to be holding you back in some way, this is where we want to open our hearts, open our minds. So I'll invite you to close your eyes, soften your gaze, because this is about focus. We want to be able to hold this space. We want to be able to inhabit it completely. And by inhabiting this space completely, we are opening ourselves to the connection to the One. Connection that is always flowing from the One to us, but one which we need to be open to from our side, if you will. Allowing myself to be open, allowing myself to be flexible in thought, flexible in spirit, means that I allow the wisdom of the One. I allow the grace of the One to inform my thoughts, to inform my actions. So whatever it is that I am seeking to manifest, I know that I draw upon what is within to be able to do that. I don't allow the limitations that I see in the outside world to be the final answer. They are not. They are an invitation, an opportunity. Some of those invitations are pretty strong, pretty important, and not things that we feel that we can necessarily say no to. And so that's where we need to be more and more open. That's where I need to allow for greater possibilities. That's where I need to consider, is there something more that I can learn? Is there something more that I need to know? Do I need to seek outside help? Do I need to open myself to getting support from others, getting ideas from others? Always remember that each of us is connected, one to the other, which means that there is no such thing as my way of doing things and your way of doing things. There is our way of doing things. They differ at times, that's true. But we're always working from the same base, if you will. We're always working from that same divine space. What differs is how we open ourselves to that. What differs is how we allow ourselves to take what we have within and to bring it forward. There are definitely, absolutely things I need to learn in order to be able to be successful. There are things that I need to unlearn in order to be successful. There are things from my past, for example, that caused me tremendous fear when it comes to financial things. But I know that I have, and I continue to address those. I mitigate those risks as best I can. There have been times that the only thing that I could do was turn to friends. There have been times that I felt I had no idea what my next step would be, other than to reach out. And I recognize that that is still part of my divine self. That is still part of the divine plan, if you will. The plan is not, you must do this, otherwise you will suffer. The divine plan is, open your heart, open your spirit, be who and whose you are so that you can live a fulfilling and fulfilled life. That's a plan that anyone can get behind. And so I allow myself to hold the mental image. I allow myself to feel the strong faith of knowing, that strong faith of expectancy, that the good that is within can be brought out, that I can find the answers. Because the answers are always within. And remember that when we say within, it's not necessarily within my own knowledge, but within the collective knowledge, within the collective consciousness. And so I allow myself to see where my limitations are. I allow myself to do so with compassion, not to berate myself, not to say I am responsible for failing, for not doing this. No, I hold myself in love. I hold myself compassionately. I open myself to possibilities. I open myself to learn, to grow, to explore, to help and to be helped. This is what it means for me to be part of the one. This is what it means for me to be part of this incredible divinity. This is what it means to be the beloved of the beloved. And so, as I hold that truth, as I hold to my actual identity, I recognize that for me to be truly myself is for me to be limitless, for me to be considering all possibilities, for me to recognize that the abundance lives within, to recognize that love is not something to be found, but love is something that is to be released, to be open to be allowed to flow. And that peace is not something that I create from outside of myself and bring to me, but rather something that is within that I bring through and out as me. And so today my prayer for myself and for each and every one of us is that we allow ourselves to see where we are blocked. Allow ourselves to see where we have limited ourselves in whatever way that might be. And then with compassion, with faith, with love, opening ourselves to the possibility, all of the possibilities, recognizing that each of us is the beloved of the beloved. And so, knowing that I have spoken this word into the law which always says yes, I know that it cannot possibly be denied. I have planted this seed. I will nurture this seed with my continual belief in the goodness, in the greatness of my being the beloved of the beloved, as is each and every one of us. And in doing so, I can let God, Gaia, Allah, the universe, I can let that power and I can let go. And so it is. So folks, whatever your intention is, know that there is within you this marvelous strength, this marvelous capacity. And so it is. Good to see you, Garrett. And so it is. It's all love. All right, folks. I want you to always remember that you are loved. And to always remember that you are love itself. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network. Come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.